Let's talk. This is, in a nutshell, the definition of mediation. Welcome. My name is Bruce Toombs, and I have been a professional family mediator specializing in separation agreements for over 12 years. My interest in mediation aroused out of a personal experience, as well as my involvement as a counselor with so many families. The cost of hiring a lawyer today to do your separation can be in excess of $15,000 per person. That is $30,000 a couple. This money can be well spent on your children's education, a car, or even a down payment on a home. Outside the financial cost is the emotional cost to you and to your children. It is easy to lose focus on how today's decisions can and will affect the long-term emotional stability of your children. As a family counselor and mediator, I make sure we keep the focus on what's best for the children. Think about the following scenario. You go to a lawyer at a rate of approximately $300 to $400 an hour. You spend 2 hours sharing your concerns with your lawyer. You are now up to $600 to $800 out of pocket. Your lawyer spends 2 hours discussing your concern with your ex's lawyer. You are now out $1,200 to $1,600. Your ex has to do the same thing for a combined total of $2,400 to $3,200. This is for only 4 hours of legal consultation. That is just the beginning of a long, drawn-out separation agreement. Have you ever played the game where you tell someone a story and they share the story with 2 or 3 other people? The end story is rarely the story that it began to be. This is the process of one person talking to their lawyer who talks to another lawyer who talks to the spouse and vice versa. On top of this, lawyers cannot express your heartfelt concerns over particular issues and wants. Let's look at another scenario. You and your spouse sit with me at $125 per person per hour, rather than $300 or $400 per hour. Together, we sit and discuss what is best for the children. Moreover, you would be amazed at how creative we can be with open dialogue. Nobody needs to feel the decision is black and white, either or. My role is to ensure that negotiations are carried out with respect towards each other. I help you be creative in preparing your children's future as well as your own. Who is responsible for what, and how much time will each parent spend with their children? The court refers to this as custody and access. I also help you work out your financial obligations to each other. This is referred to as a comprehensive separation agreement. Is a separation agreement prepared by a professional family mediator legal? The Attorney General Office And the Law Society of Upper Canada recommends couples go to a mediator rather than litigate in preparing their separation agreement. I use the same tools and format as most lawyers do in preparing a separation agreement. Why not prepare your own separation agreement? According to the Family Law Act, there is nothing stopping you from preparing your own separation agreement. This is, however, not advisable. There are numerous reasons why this is not a good idea. To point out just one, if your spouse decides to challenge the separation agreement in 3 or 4 years, will you be able to establish your spouse was not under undue duress at the time? Years ago, I had a couple come to me to prepare a separation agreement. The young man was devastated. Well, she had been to a lawyer and had prepared a lot of research on the internet. He was truly in a fog and had no idea what was going on with the separation and or divorce. When she stated she wanted the house, he said, okay. When she stated she wanted the car, he said, okay. When she stated she wanted all the money in the savings account, he said, okay. When she stated she wanted full custody and access of the children, allowing him only 1 weekend a month, he said, okay. I asked the young man if he had been to a lawyer to get independent legal advice. He had not. I asked him if he had thought about getting counseling, but his spouse had discouraged him. I explained to the couple I could not proceed with the mediation at this point. For the legal term of what was being asked is unconscionable. The agreement was too one-sided. The following day, I received an email from the wife telling me my services were no longer required, as she was going to prepare the separation agreement herself. 4 years later, I received a phone call from the young man's lawyer asking me for a copy of the separation agreement. I explained how I had not proceeded with mediation and there was no separation agreement from me, using the terms I just described. To the surprise of the spouse who prepared the separation agreement, it became null and void, and she owed him a great deal of money. This is just one of many reasons it is not wise to prepare your own separation agreement. While as a mediator, I cannot give you legal advice, I have gone far beyond the prescribed requirements to prepare a separation agreement. I have and continue to study family law to ensure my clients are not railroaded into an agreement that is unfair. I've never been sued. So again, a separation agreement prepared by a professional family mediator is perfectly legal. Having stated this, I strongly recommend that each couple seek independent legal advice before they attend mediation. I would suggest 80% of my clients have followed this advice. But most importantly, I recommend you bring your completed separation agreement to a lawyer for review before signing it. I would suggest 90 to 95% of my clients follow this advice. Down south, I had 9 cooperative family lawyers who worked with my clients. Collaborative family lawyers have special training in how to collaborate with their clients and each other. I have not had time to establish a list of lawyers in our area yet, but I will do my best to locate a lawyer in your area as we proceed. In closing, let's look at the likely cost of mediation versus lawyers. If you go 6 hours with me, which is average for mediation, compared to months with a lawyer, you are looking at approximately $750 each. If you spend 2 hours with a lawyer going over your independent legal advice and the final separation agreement, you are looking at approximately $600 to $800 each. The average cost of your separation agreement then, including independent legal advice, will be approximately $1,300 to $1,500 compared to $15,000 each. In conclusion, I recognize most of my viewers live too far for an office visit. The convenience of video conferencing using Skype is a modern way of preparing separation agreements from the comfort of your own home. All you need is a phone, a computer, or other device that lets you connect to Skype, which is a free and easy service to use. Let's talk.